Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing, testing. Hello. Check, 1, 2. 1, 2.
And check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2.
I'll just go. I'm going to be extra loud.
Wait, do you want to start with play-by-play, or do you want me to? What do you want to do? How about... I'll start the play-by-play. You got the... You take the second, I'll take the first 10 and the third. You get the last 10 and the third. Is that okay?
And we are live from Amalie Arena, home of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and tonight it's home to the Southern Collegiate Hockey Conference Championship game between the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles and your USF Ice Bulls. Hi folks, I'm Wade Crocker along with my partners Pat Templeton and Walker Ford. And Pat, we've made it to the big time. The SCHC Championship game on NHL ice Boy, are we in for a real treat here tonight at arguably one of the best arenas in all of hockey.
Absolutely, Wade. The final two teams remaining in the SCHC Championship tournament face off on the grand stage here at Amalie Arena. And boy, what a tournament it has been for the Ice Bulls. It all started Friday night when USF came storming out of the gate in Game 1, beating Embry-Riddle in dominant fashion with a final score of 11-1. Saturday night is where USF showed the true character of this battle-tested group. Down 3-0 to the University of Tampa after a period of play, the Ice Bulls rallied back, tying the game at 3 in the third period and eventually scoring the game-winning goal in double OT, clinching their spot in the championship game today. The Ice Bulls will have to show that same grit here tonight in the championship game against a very dangerous FGCU team. Now let's go over to Walker for a recap of how FGCU's tournament weekend has played out so far. Walker?
Thanks, Pat. The number 1 seed Eagles earned themselves a first-round bye in the SCHC tournament, waiting for the winner of Friday night's UCF-Miami first-round matchup. Miami squeaked past UCF in a tightly contested game, winning 6-5. To say Miami faced a step up in competition Saturday night would be an understatement, facing an FGCU team that has not lost a Southern Conference game all season long. That statistic would not change as FGCU downed the Hurricanes 8-0 last night in Wesley Chapel, staking their claim to compete for the SCHC Championship Trophy here at Amalie Arena. Now let's head over to Wade for a preview of tonight's starting goaltenders.
Thanks, Walker. The Eagles have had a pretty good 1-2 punch in the crease this season, spearheaded by Michael Kirch and Jared Birch, both going undefeated on the season with Birch at 9-0 and Kirch at 8-0. We'll find out here momentarily after warm-ups who will be the starter in the Florida Gulf Coast crease. For the Ice Bulls, it will be the steady hand in net, Sam Coleman, who last night against UT showed why he rightfully deserved his second-team all-conference accolade, shutting down the Spartans' attack from the second period on and helping USF earn their championship berth. Coleman came into the tournament 10-3 on the year with a .906 save percentage, and he'll have to be on his aim game tonight as he faces the most lethal team in the SCHC. Well, guys, it's finally here. The SCHC Championship game on NHL ice at Amalie Arena. The same ice that Hockey Hall of Famer Dave Anderchuk hoisted Lord Stanley's Cup will be the same ice that one of these two teams will be lifting the SCHC Championship Trophy. Here's to hoping that it's our USF Ice Bulls. We hope you're ready, folks, because all of us here in the booth are dialed in. The final game of the Southern Collegiate Hockey Conference Championship starts next. As they introduce the teams here, Pat, we are audio only tonight, unfortunately, for the championship game. We are off location. We're usually in Wesley Chapel at the Advent Health Center ice. Tonight we're at Amalie Arena on the big ice and having some technical difficulties with our camera, so unfortunately we're going to be audio only tonight, but we're still going to give you a best broadcast we can. So it'll be, a radio version, play-by-play of the hockey game as they do the introductions for USF here.
As we're doing it, as we get introductions tonight, Zachary Olson and Scott Nelson introduced for the Ice Bulls.
So I think technically, even though USF, Pat, is the home team, they're the local team, I guess Florida Gulf Coast being the number 1 seed, they're treating this as a home game for them. They'll get the second introductions, USF getting the first introduction.
Absolutely. It's basically neutral ice, even though it's a little bit closer to home for USF. Looks like they're doing the full roster introductions, too.
Yep, so they're going numerical order for USF. As you just heard, Michael Lozicki, number 27 for USF, leading goal scorer, 21 goals on the season, Pat. Had a big goal last night in the game against UT. And then there's Sam Coleman, starting goaltender.
Stripes and bright
Sonia Bryson, who usually does the national anthem here. Pat does the national anthem here for the USF hockey game. And, man, what a game this is. It's number 1 versus number 3 in the Southern Hockey Collegiate. So, again, our sincere apologies. Technical difficulties, not much we can do at this point. We're down here at the arena, so we're going to give you the best broadcast we can. That's going to be audio only at this point.
Absolutely. So the play-by-play is going to be even more crucial than normal. We'll try and keep up with the game and to give you a great show here. But we've got 2 fantastic teams, and we know they're going to give a great show and probably have a fantastic game. We got the number 1 and number 3 teams. Really, in a sense, if last night had counted for the conference standings, we'd almost be pushing the number 1 and 2 teams in the conference, Wade.
Well, absolutely. And if it wasn't for that, if USF could have scored on that 4-on-3 power play, and that, what was it, the 5-minute 4-on-4 overtime. I mean, that, according to the ACHA rules, after that had gone to a tie, basically that's what it was scored at, was a tie. So USF, it's credited as a tie, but in the tournament they won in overtime, which is great. But if USF wants to get to nationals, they still can. They just got to beat the best team in the Southern Collegiate Hockey Conference standings. It's going to be a tough task, but they took Florida Gulf Coast to their only tie this year, and that was a game where USF had the lead late 3-2, let Florida Gulf Coast tie it in the last minute. So that could have been Florida Gulf Coast's only loss. So I'm expecting a real good contest by 2 hungry teams tonight.
Absolutely, and the game always starts 0-0, and that's what we'll start with tonight here as we get ready for puck drop at center ice. Opening faceoff is going to be won by FGCU, and they're going to move it back into their own zone. It's taken there by Diaz as he tries to move it on up through the ice. USF's going to take it near center ice. It's going to be played in by Taylor, who gets it in deep. Kirch is going to take it back behind the net as FGCU gets ready to move it up the ice. They get it through center and dump it on in deep, where it's going to be met by Coleman behind his net. Coleman plays it up the boards, where it's met by the Eagles. They play it around and chip it on back behind Coleman's net. Taken there and played up by Alfaro. Both teams playing careful hockey here so far, as we mostly seen neutral zone action, Wade.
Well, that's what you want to see. I mean, that was a good first shift there. It's about a 40-second shift for USF. That's what they're going to have to do in a championship game, and they're the more the weathered team here. Florida Gulf Coast had the first round bye. They're a little more fresher. USF is definitely going to keep the shifts short and keep fresh legs for this game, because Florida Gulf Coast is very deep and very talented, as we all know.
Absolutely. FGCU has the puck here behind their net. It's going to be kept in, though, by USF before FGCU is able to clear it out, and USF dumps it back on in. It's met again by Kirch. Leaves it behind his net, and it's going to be met there by Hartman. Hartman moves it on up the left side. It's going to be played further there by Nappy, but he loses the puck. And USF's going to have an opportunity here up the left-hand side. Coming in, a shot on goal. It's cleared, and it's out in front of the net, and it's cleared out of the way there. Kirch had to face 2 or 3 different opportunities there. My goodness.
That was a big stop by Kirch, and the rebound, too. On the rebounds, he made the stops, and that's a good sign so far. USF getting the first great opportunity of this game so far.
Absolutely. Almost a 2-on-1 there. We got a man coming up the left-hand side. He gets a great wrist shot off. Dangerous rebound goes into the slot, and on the rebound, Kirch is able to stay strong and fight off 1, maybe even 2 different rebound opportunities there.
So face-off will come right outside the USF blue line as both teams get a change. 18:30 remaining in the first period.
And that face-off is won by USF, but the puck is taken by the Eagles and dumped into the USF zone. Nelson is going to try and get it for the Ice Bulls. He manages to play it up the wall, but it's kept in. He's going to try it again as he goes in deep, going up here against Nappy. Nappy tries to play it out in front. Nelson with a good defensive play. Puck is up against the boards. There's a scram for it. Nelson manages to win it away from 2 Eagles as Mladi tries to get it out. Mladi moves it over to DePaulo. DePaulo on the right-hand side of the ice, moves it up through center. Taken there by Mikev. FGCU with a good forecheck and pressure. Turnover there created by Lundqvist. USF looking to move it up. Lottie managed to get it over the blue line, but he's met by a strong forecheck.
Good start here by USF, Pat. They're really moving their feet. They're finishing their checks. And we saw this yesterday, like you were saying earlier, with Florida Gulf Coast. Kind of a slow start against a Miami team. Very encouraging here for USF so far.
Absolutely, and after a bad start yesterday for USF, you know that was probably one of the main points of emphasis for the coach. But we're going to get a penalty here, and it's going to be against Dylan Taylor as he's going to get the tripping call. That's an unfortunate opportunity. He's actually breaking into the offensive zone, going up the right-hand side of the ice, but he gets tangled up with the defenseman, and he ends up getting a tripping call as he gets the left skate and a little bit of the stick under there.
That's a call, in a championship game. I mean, two guys battling for the puck. I'm not completely sure about that one, but at any rate, it's going to be Florida Gulf Coast going on the power play. 17:20 remaining in the first. Face-off will be to the left of Sam Coleman.
And USF actually has the best penalty kill and power play in the SCHC conference. We're going to see what they can do here and try and kill off this important power play 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the first period. FGCU, though, gets the possession of the puck, and they're going to take it and try and set up the offense. Working it around the left face-off, the right face-off circle. Getting out to the point for a point shot, which Coleman stops. Rebound is wide open, though, and taken right there by FGCU. They don't get a clean shot on the rebound. They're going to have to circle around. Taken at the point. Another opportunity here. Another clean shot, but that one's swallowed by Coleman, as that was Philbin who gets a shot from the point. But Coleman doing a great job of trying to keep those rebounds under control.
Well, absolutely, and the face-offs are going to be key here for USF. They lost the draw cleanly on this one. You got 1:38 remaining in the penalty. If keep these draws in your own end, you got to win these draws and get them out, get them along the wall. That was a good little stance there by USF so far. They were keeping the lane in the center pretty open.
They win the face-off, but unfortunately they have no one behind them, and so FGCU is going to be able to set up the offense again. This time they're in the left-hand face-off circle. Some forechecking pressure, and USF is almost able to get the clear, but it's kept in at the point. That was Vero. FGCU defenseman exchanging some passes, moving into the face-off circle. Glove save by Coleman there as a shot by Fitzgerald. No traffic in front. Coleman doesn't have any trouble with that.
That's exactly what you want to see. Keep Coleman's eyes clean. Keep the trash away from him. Clear the front of the net, and he can make that save 10 times out of 10. I mean, it's just that's about as easy as it gets, and that's a great job by the defense there, clearing the crease and letting Coleman see that puck.
Absolutely, and he did a great job yesterday against UT when they let in 3 early goals, but then basically 2.5 full periods, nothing behind him.
Yep.
And so FGCU once again gets some zone time here. About a minute left in the power play. USF is going to try and clear, and they get a lucky break there as USF is actually going to be able to clear the puck from the zone. Waitman there, creating some forechecking pressure, along with Sheehan. FGCU takes the puck back into the offensive zone. Looks for a pass out in front of the net. They're going to go behind Coleman. Good stick there as Waitman breaks up a pass. It's up against the right-hand boards. FGCU gets it out to the point. It's going over to Hartman. Hartman takes it on the backhand. Curls down in behind the net. Ridden along the boards. Hartman ends up winning the puck. Goes for the wraparound. It gets out in front, squirts into the face-off circle, and a great diving play there by Kenny Waitman. Cohen was looking for the shot. A dangerous opportunity there in the face-off circle.
That was a great stick by Kenny Waitman. He came back, as we see on the replay here, and makes a diving attempt to get his puck on that, or get a stick on that puck, rather. Gets out of play. Walker, what are you seeing so far on this USF penalty kill? I think they're doing a really good job of keeping the bodies out of Coleman's crease.
Absolutely. They've been doing really well. With 16 seconds left here to go, there's not much else they have to do other than what they've been doing. They've been able to keep the lane out free for Coleman and been able to keep the puck out of their zone, and they've been really doing really well.
Another point shot there. That one's from Diaz. FGCU tries to go back toward. That was Matruska, and the power play is over, so USF did manage to kill that off. The scrum out in front of the net. The referee's trying to get under control as Coleman swallowed that, but he got maybe one extra shot from an Eagle.
Both teams laugh off the scrum there, but yeah, backdoor chance there for Florida Gulf Coast, and Coleman read it the whole way, swallowed that one up. So the face-off, we are now even strength, Pat. Face-off will be to the right of Coleman. 15:20 left in the first period, scoreless.
Huge kill there for USF. See if they can get back some of that early energy they had and try and create some opportunities for themselves. Ethan Coro on the draw for USF. He loses it, but he gets some help from Taylor, and the puck leaves the zone. Possible 2-on-1 opportunity here. Taylor's coming up the right-hand side. He gets it on the backhand, tries to take it in deep, puts it in front of the net, but there's no clean shot, and it skirtles away. FGCU puts it up against the boards, and it does manage to get past Alfaro. Falbo is going to curl back into the USF zone.
the limited time that they've had the puck in the other end, Pat. I mean, the offensive zone, rather. The USF has definitely had 2 or 3 really good chances. They're loose pucks in front. That's what they're going to have to do tonight.
Absolutely. A delayed offside, so FGCU is going to get a chance to reconnect in their own zone. Puck is turned over to Falbo, who chips it into the center of the ice in the upper slot. USF's able to get control of it. Kenny Waitman in the faceoff circle. A dangerous pinch there by Falbo. Almost turns into an odd man rush there for FGCU. Good puck luck, though, for the Ice Bulls. Mikev is in the upper slot. The puck ends up, and it's a goal! The referee signaling immediately for it. It's a goal. It looks like Mikev.
Wow, what a play, and that's all started by Kenny Waitman, Pat. On the left wall, he rolls up to the corner, as we see on the replay here. He goes in the left corner. He's going to pull it behind the net, does a no-look pass right into the crease. It goes off the stick, and Mikev just knocks it in. But when it rolled off the stick of Birch and batted right in by McKeevan, USF takes a 1-0 lead.
And we actually saw that yesterday. That's the second goal in 2 days, scored by a USF Ice Bull, batted out of the air. I mean, that is some amazing hand-eye coordination. And most importantly, that's a 1-0 lead in a game that you really want to win, of course.
Those are the types of goals that win you a championship, and that's what it's going to take tonight. You're going to have to grind out. The Florida Gulf Coast is so talented. They're so deep. You're just going to have to put the puck on net and get some magic going. They got it so far. It's 1-0 USF.
Absolutely, and once again, that penalty kill is huge. It gives you opportunity to not just tie up the game 1-1, but you got a 1-0 lead instead.
And you can see the captain's really in for this game. He just landed a big hit in the corner there, throwing the body around, had the no-look pass that got the goal for USF. You love to see that for the captain, stepping up his play here.
Absolutely.
Championship game.
Puck in the USF zone is chipped out along the boards. FGCU is going to take it at center ice. It's Verreau. Verreau moves it up on the right-hand side. It goes in deep, chased by Philpin. It moves out to USF. Sheehan's got it. He moves it up the right-hand side of the ice. He goes along the boards. And the icing is called. That looked like Walters had it beat out, but the refs are going to go ahead and call that.
From our vantage point, I mean, we're kind of right on top of the play. It looked pretty even. I can understand the ref's point of view there, but you kind of want to see him in a championship game, let him race for that one. But at any rate, faceoff will come down into the USF zone to the right of Coleman. 13:28 left in the first period. It's 1-0 USF in the championship game.
Faceoff to the right of Coleman here. It's going to be Walters taking it for USF. Puck gets left, and a goal by FGCU. Seth Cohen on the doorstep.
The leading scorer for Florida Gulf Coast. He's 37 points in 22 games, and there's number 38, his 18th goal of the season, right off the faceoff. And they just throw it on net. I mean, that's similar, and as we see the USF bench a little upset with that original icing, which you could blame on a goal there, but got to win faceoffs in your own end, Pat, and that's, both teams are just going to throw stuff at the net, as we saw with USF in a championship game. That's what Florida Gulf Coast does, and this game's tied.
Absolutely, and not just winning the faceoffs, but also what happens there. We see the puck get left on the outside portion of the faceoff circle. The forward's able to just basically walk in and get a clean pass into his guy in the front of the net. You just can't allow that kind of clean passing and those big lanes to open up, especially against a team as talented as FGCU. Chips it in deep to the USF zone. Taken by Lynch and moved up the boards to Taylor. Taylor gets it on the backhand. Is an offside, though, against the Eagles. Be a neutral zone faceoff just outside the USF blue line.
Well, what we don't want to see here, Pat, is USF let the momentum swing here. They're up 1-0. You get a bad icing. You let the goal in. You can't let the momentum swing here. We're back to square one, and they have to do what they did when this game started. Get the pucks in deep, finish the checks, and keep the game simple. Just get pucks on net.
And it's been a great start so far for USF, especially compared to the UT game yesterday when they were down 3-0 early. You want to take advantage of that and continue to play strong, but FGCU has it, again in the upper slot, but now it's a possible almost 3-on-2 opportunity there for USF, but puck gets twirled around a little bit in the center ice. A nice little play there. That was Bell, who curls at the top of the faceoff circle. Lynch ends up losing his stick. Turnover at the blue line. Lynch is going to have to go get it for USF. There to meet it at the corner is Hartman. Lynch takes it on the backhand. Hartman pinches in deep. He's got the puck almost behind the net. USF does manage to clear, though. It's going to be taken by Diaz for FGCU. He puts it in deep. Goes off Lynch's hand. 2 men on the forecheck for the Eagles. Lynch is going to switch sides and go over to Rhodes.
good play by Mitch Campbell at center ice, Pat, as the Eagles were getting a change. He finished a hard check there at center ice and leveled into.
Absolutely. A clean pass in, and Coleman makes a fantastic save as Lundqvist was basically in it alone. That was almost a miniature breakaway there. A nice pass by Nappy off the boards.
Here, Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, basically had the right wing breakaway. McKeeve was on his trails, but it was a breakaway, and Coleman just took that one away. Face-off's going to be the left of Sam Coleman. 12 minutes flat remaining. 1-1's our score here in the first period.
Nappy, Matriska, and Lundqvist all been playing well so far for FGCU. They get that dangerous opportunity there. Puck is out in front of the net. It bounces dangerously off Coleman. As once again, in deep, FGCU has an opportunity, but again, Coleman is there to stop it. We got 11:51 left in the first period. Game is tied 1-1. USF starting off strong, taking an early penalty, but other than that, they've been playing very well. Last 2 or 3 minutes, though, the Eagles have been able to turn it on, and you can tell exactly just how skilled both of these teams are. They both won various portions of the first period, and that's why we got a 1-1 game so far. Yes, if you're USF, you really need to alleviate some of this pressure because the Eagles have just turned this game on the head right now.
See, the momentum has definitely shifted. And USF, they kind of took this game over when it started, but Florida Gulf Coast has definitely woke up.
Well, here's the goal scorer, Mikev, and he gets it over to Waitman, his partner, from the goal earlier. Florida Gulf Coast pressuring here with a 3-on-2 opportunity. USF's able to break it up, throws the puck down, met at center ice by Fitzgerald. Opportunity here, 1-on-1 for USF. They get a wrist shot, and Litsicki is able to at least put it on net. He creates a great opportunity there. Now he's going to get a face-off in the offensive zone after the change by USF.
If I'm not mistaken, is this the first offensive zone face-off for USF, or maybe one of the first?
So they certainly haven't had many.
Yeah, it seems like it is, but at any rate, face-off to the right of Kirch, won by USF.
I think this is either the second or third, but certainly it's been a while since they've had that an offensive zone face-off, and unfortunately they lose this. Wade talked earlier about the importance of draws, and that's another loss there for USF. Gives FGCU a chance to put on some pressure. Over near the face-off circle, it's Verreau, but he loses the puck. USF is going to be able to break out a little bit. Some physical play there at the blue line by the Eagles. Sheehan chasing for the Ice Bulls. Litsicki also put some pressure on. Almost able to create a turnover near the blue line. FGCU plays it along. That was Philbin. Chased into the corner by Engelman. And the puck is finally met by Verreau. Verreau looks out front. Engelman's got a chance.
Big stop. 2
big stops there as Engelman basically creates his own takes his own rebound opportunity. Coleman denies him twice.
Yeah, I mean, USF is really just at this point struggling in their own end, trying to get pucks out. The defense at this point just can't get the puck along the wall and down the ice. And Sam Coleman bailing them out here. 10:24 left in the first period. 1-1 your score. Face off to the right of Sam Coleman.
It's a dangerous game to play if you're USF against a high-talent team like FGCU. Good finish there by Coro as he gets a nice hit on Steinmetz.
Gonna have to see a lot more of that tonight, Pat, by Ethan Coro. He's a power forward on this team. Gonna have to really lay the body on Florida Gulf Coast.
Absolutely. He and Waitman really need to throw the body around and to lay some pressure on, especially at a moment like this where the momentum has decidedly swung in the Eagles' favor. They've got a man in the back door. Another physical play there. Coro gets another good hit.
Coro knocking down the leading scorer, Seth Cohen, who scored the only goal for Florida Gulf Coast, and that's what they're going to have to do, like we said, is that puck goes into the bench and out of play.
It was Rhodes there trying to get it up the ice and ends up deflecting into the USF bench. We'll have a neutral zone face-off here.
I think for the USFD, Pat, I mean, when they get the puck, they have to get the puck out of the zone. With a team as deep and as talented as Florida Gulf Coast, you can't afford a turnover. You got to get those pucks out. USF really needs to improve on that facet of the game so far here in the first period. We're about 10 minutes in so far.
And they're going to actually draw an icing here from FGCU. I think you're absolutely right about that. And I think even more important, too, is going to be that the defensemen really get those breakouts going quickly. You've seen some really good forechecking pressure by FGCU. Even one lackadaisical moment for USF, and suddenly you're going to be able to create that turnover, and that's when the Eagles are the most dangerous.
Offensive zone face-off here as well. I mean, we want to see USF start winning these draws on any side of the ice. And really, when you win the draw, you can control the pace of play as icing's waved off there.
Yeah, they lose that one again as that one ends up going to the boards. Mikev is able to play it up. Taken by FGCU just in front of their own blue line. Fired in deep. Met there by Lynch. He curls in front of Coleman. Almost loses control of the puck. Takes up the left-hand side of the ice. Amalie's got it. He chips it in deep. Chased by Mikev. FGCU controls it. Tries to move it out of their zone. They do that. It goes up through center ice, and it's met by Malcolm, the captain of the team. Malcolm gets a pass out left. They've got a man coming back door, but they can't quite get it to cross. USF manages to take it. Good stick check there by Walters. It's Falbo on the right-hand side. He goes in deep. He gets a move, and a beautiful wrist shot there is blockered away.
Back.
A fantastic move there. Falbo not even touched by the defense.
Great play by Falbo. And that's like you were saying earlier, the defense is definitely going to have to step up here and lead the rush.
Malcolm gets in deep, but the shot is blocked. USF going for the counterattack here as Sheehan's coming up the ice. Can be called on the offside, though, and there was a 2 or 3 on 1 opportunity there for USF. Walker, what have you seen so far? We're about the 8:14 mark of the first period, 1-1 game. It's been a back-and-forth one so far.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think the number one thing that USF has to focus on is dealing with adversity. I mean, they had that early power play, their penalty kill that they had to deal with, that unfortunate icing call that led to the face-off in their own end that eventually wound up in the FGCU goal, and I think that's just one of the things that they're going to have to deal with, is being able to get out of those poor situations and create more opportunities for themselves.
Absolutely. It's going to be FGCU trying to get it out of their zone, but it's going to be turned back by a good forecheck by USF. 3 ice bowls in deep. Once again, turned away. Taking it is Lay for FGCU. That's taken by Verreau on the right-hand side. Curls with the face-off, looks for the trailing man for the point. USF trying to create a breakaway opportunity here. It's Taylor up the left-hand side of the ice. He's got the opportunity. He comes in, and he scores! Dylan Taylor with the speed.
On the backhand.
Oh, my goodness. That was
The referee's entertained by that one. He spills at the blue line. But my goodness, let's look at the replay here. Coming up with speed. He's got the breakaway. Pulls in left circle. Great play by Mitch Campbell. Taking out the defense. Forehand, backhand. Beats Kirch. 2-1 USF.
And even more importantly, remember, folks, that SCHC rules. Campbell not only takes out the defenseman, he actually draws an interference penalty. So not only do we have a USF 2-1 lead, we now have a power play for the number 1 power play team in the conference. USF, a fantastic opportunity here to take a 2-goal lead.
What a move by Dylan Taylor. I mean, he's been such a good two-way player all year, but my goodness, what showed the speed. Some of USF's core players really coming up big offensively in this championship game, 2-1, and USF goes on the power play with 7:20 remaining in the first period.
Absolutely. It's going to be number 24, Kevin Philbin, in the box for the Eagles. USF looking to take advantage here. Up 2-1. Dylan Taylor. Eagles are able to get a clear. And they're actually going to create a 2-on-1 opportunity here in the slot. And they score a shorthanded goal by Connor Black. Just like that, it's a tie game. Exactly what you don't want if you're USF, Wade.
I mean, that's about as worst case scenario as it gets. And when you're dealing with a team as fast as Florida Gulf Coast, I mean, guess who? It's number 12, Seth Cohen, the leading scorer on this team, assisting to the second leading scorer. A 2-on-1, shorthanded with the 2 leading scorers of Florida Gulf Coast. They tie this game. 7 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first period. It's 2-2. Minute 33 remaining and the penalty. So USF will remain on the power play.
FGCU does have a very dangerous penalty kill, and most importantly, they've also been scoring those shorthanded goals. They had 1 goal. Their first goal of the game yesterday against Miami was actually a shorthanded goal, and they've been scoring them basically all year. A dangerous penalty kill and a bad error there by USF cost them a lead and an opportunity for both an opportunity for a 2-goal lead and their actual 1-goal lead.
Yeah, it's just rough. I mean, the bench is erupting. You see the momentum just swing there. Not only is the momentum swing, but then you get the power play to grow the momentum even more. Maybe get a 2-goal lead and to give up a shorthanded goal like that. Not definitely worst case scenario for USF, but still a minute and 5 seconds here on a power play.
Absolutely. And if you're USF, you got to have a very short-term memory because you've got 1 minute left on this power play. Unfortunately, the first minute you kind of wasted and gave up a goal. You got one more minute. You can still have that 1-goal lead, and that's what you want. Mitch Campbell here and Dylan Taylor, the two men who created the second goal for USF and got them on this power play.
Oh, boy.
But Campbell loses it. It's going to be number 14 for FGCU. Another breakaway. Coleman stays strong, though.
Big stop by Coleman.
Huge save by Coleman. FGCU pressuring again. Another shot from the high slot. My goodness, this is a disastrous power play for USF right now, Wade.
Sam Coleman on the USF power play has been the best player on the power play. Made some big stops there. A breakaway for number 14 on Florida Gulf Coast. That's Gregory Steinmetz who had the breakaway. And then the rebound. Face-off will be in the USF end. 34 seconds remaining on the 5-on-4 power play. 2-2's your score.
Coleman must be wondering if it's one of his guys in the box at this point because he's just faced so much pressure. USF is not even able to get any zone time and much less even just get it out of their own zone. They're going to try and come up the left-hand side of the ice, though. 3-on-2 opportunity. They have two men in deep. They take a quick shot, and it's fought off by the mask. Malcolm here is going to try and chase it for FGCU and create, again, some more pressure. 10 seconds left in the power play for USF.
Lynch to muscle him off there.
Malcolm returns the favor with a hard hit, and we're back to even strength with 5:27 left in the first period. Mikev and Amalie. Amalie fires it around so Waitman can grab it. Just out of the reach of Mikev, who tries to chase it again. Fan on the clearing attempt by FGCU. They rim it around the boards where DePaulo meets it. DePaulo gets a nice pass as Mikev's in the upper slot waiting. USF makes a change. FGCU is going to take the puck. Played up the boards by USF. It goes to the center of the ice. Waitman here on the right-hand side. He waits and looks for reinforcements. He had Nelson creeping in there. Nelson tries to fire it down, trying to set up a deflection there. Doesn't quite get it, and FGCU is going to have an opportunity going the other way. 3-on-2, 3-on-3 with the trailer. Coleman makes a good save as the puck goes off his left pad. FGCU accidentally ends up rimming it around the boards. They're going to have to reset near their own blue line. It's Lay playing it up, where it's met by DePaulo for USF. He plays it around. Back pass to him. And USF is able to get it out. It's Walters who plays it up the left side of the ice. Coming in deep. High shot there. Goes wide. Still in the zone, though, as Lisicki's chasing it. Looking also for Walters. Lisicki keeping some checking pressure on. USF not trying to give up any ice, but Steinmetz manages to chip it in. Chased by Black. 2 men up for each team against the boards. Sheehan plays it back behind his own net, where Falbo takes it. Falbo looking for the long pass, possibly trying to get it to Walters. FGCU is going to take it at neutral ice. Broken up by USF. They toss it back down, and they're going to go for a line change while FGCU sets it up. Papula drops it off to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is met at center ice. It's a good play there by Campbell.
You're starting to see the neutral zone effect come into play here, Pat, as both teams are kind of getting stalemate in their own ends and in the neutral zone, but you can definitely tell the heat's turning up and both teams are really playing with a little more urgency here. Keep this puck out of the back of their nets. Absolutely.
Horvath here trying to get it in deep. A good defensive play, though, as USF's able to clear without letting FGCU get a shot on goal. 2:43 left here in the second period. 2-2 game. It's going to be Horvath again, this time up the left-hand side of the ice. He makes a nice move and gets it past Lynch. Looking for the finish there, but they couldn't quite get the pass to Lundqvist. Lynch clears it out in front of his net. A turnover there, but a bad pass by FGCU. They lose the opportunity. Campbell on the right-hand side of the ice for USF. He tries to drag it into the slot, but it's broken up before he gets it. A huge hit there by Kenny Waitman, though.
Massive hit by the captain.
And there's USF had Taylor out in front of the net, but they couldn't quite get the pass there. Taylor chips it in deep. Waitman is going to chase it. 3-on-5 opportunity here for USF. Mikev is able to glove it down, and they're going to say
it's going to be Waitman.
Waitman's going to go.
So with stick?
Yep. 1:56 left in the first period. Kenny Waitman is going to go to the box for USF. FGCU has a power play opportunity here.
Yeah, that's definitely not where you want to finish this first period. You're tied 2-2, and now for the full final 2 minutes here, you're going to be shorthanded as the captain goes to the box for the high stick. So it'll be a power play for Florida Gulf Coast with 1:56 remaining in the first period. Tied at 2.
And that's the danger of playing a physical game. Kenny Waitman's trying to get his team motivated. He sees there's a really good, clean hit, but then he goes possibly a little bit too far and ends up in the penalty box. And now USF really needs a penalty kill here. And Coleman with a beautiful save as Connor Black gets set up by Seth Cohen right in the middle of the slot. And he just snatches that puck right out of the air.
That was a great play by USF. They kept his eyes wide open. There was no screen in front of Coleman. He saw that shot the whole way and makes a great glove save on one of the better goal scorers that the Eagles have.
1:47 left in the period. FGCU shot is blocked there. Walters and Alfaro getting in the way, as that was Connor Black again in the middle of the face-off circle, basically.
And that's exactly what you want to see here. I mean, you have Black and then Connor Black, and you have Seth Cohen on the power play, two of the lethal scorers on this team. That's what you have to do. They just have to get the stick on sticks, and get in front of them, take away their lanes there, take the slot away. And if you can take, I mean, those guys have already burned you a couple times, or at least once here, burned you shorthanded. So they know what they're dealing with, as the referees are talking with the scorekeeper here at center ice as we're waiting here for a minute.
So the penalty wasn't actually up on the scoreboard for the first 16 seconds. So right now they're trying to figure out how much time is supposed to be left. It was 1:56 when we started, so it's been about 16 seconds. It should be 1:46 left on the penalty. It looks like they might be... Right now they have it as only a 10-second difference instead of a...
We don't have the shots either on the scoreboard. That's a little disappointing, but we'll do our best to keep track of that if we can at intermission.
So the timing is off right now. FGCU actually just got an extra 6 seconds on this penalty, on this power play. But USF still needs to kill it off for the last minute and 32 seconds before they can get too worried about that. Gregory Steinmetz taking it near the face-off circle. Gets some help from Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald tries to move it over to Diaz. Cohen setting up at the left point. USF trying to kill a little bit of time here. Gets over to Cohen. And he's going to move it over to Diaz, who's at the point. Slap pass, moves it over to Black. Puck gets moved over to Cohen. Cohen checked from behind.
Stick by Walters there on Cohen.
1 minute left here in the game, in the first period. Attempted shot there, and it does get through to Coleman. Just a wrist shot. USF's going to be able to clear, though, and it's stopped at the point. Lisicki's going to chase, as it was actually kind of batted down by Black. He slowed it down enough that it almost gave an opportunity for Lisicki to go for it. FGCU gets a fresh power play team on. Met at the boards by Rhodes. Rhodes is going to lose the puck as FGCU curls behind Coleman. Their second unit on now. Engelman moves it over to Verreau. Verreau gets it back to Philbin. Philbin near the point. Filters over, and a wide open net, but it's missed. That was Engelman at the side of the net. Looked like he had a wide open opportunity
USF
as a deflection in the
lazy in front of their own net here, leaving those rebounds, Pat.
Yeah, deflection in the slot there. Nelson is going to try and move it around, but the slap shot doesn't get it out of the zone. Great job, though. USF does manage to kill the majority of that power play. Again, an extra 6 seconds are added on, so they're going to have to kill off 10 seconds to begin the second period.
Well, and that wasn't a bad first period. I mean, when you talk about a team that's as good as Florida Gulf Coast is, they haven't lost in regulation this year to anyone in their conference. So, I mean, you had a lead twice on them, but with a team like this, you got to be careful, as we're seeing some of the highlights now of the Jumbotron. That McKev goal was something else. Kenny Waitman just blindly throwing it at the crease. It rides up the stick, and he knocks it in. And we're looking now as the rebound there. But at any rate, intermission starts, guys, so we're going to do an intermission here. We have 13 minutes until the second period starts. Your score after 1 period of play, USF 2, Florida Gulf Coast 2. We'll be back in about 13 minutes. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. Amalie Arena. Testing, testing, testing. Amalie Arena. All right, folks, and we are back here at Amalie Arena for the second period. Game is tied at 2. Both teams are coming on the ice here, getting stretched out. we said earlier, if you missed the announcement, we're doing audio only, unfortunately, for the broadcast. We're having some technical difficulties here at Amalie Arena. Usually we're at our home rink in Wesley Chapel. We came off base to Amalie Arena and had some technical difficulties, so we can only bring you the audio portion. But USF, Pat, going to be shorthanded here for the first 10 seconds of the second period.
Indeed they are. Once again, the best penalty kill unit in the SCHC. Only 10 seconds to kill off, but yes.
Puck is kept in by the Eagles. There, the corner.
Didn't mean to steal your play-by-play there, Wade.
Yeah, we're in a rhythm. We'll just go with it as it's knocked down ice, and Waitman's waiting for it. As Taylor puts a little pressure there on the Eagles, but they'll bring it back to center ice in the blue line. They'll chip it in. Falbo now on the left wall. Tries to keep it in. Campbell will just throw it around the wall. Can't get it out. That one's going to be thrown loose in front. Deflected, excuse me. Goes just wide. And a big hit there by Falbo in the corner, laying the body. It's exactly what you want to see USF doing here. They've lost a one-goal lead twice. As the Eagles now on the left wall. Left circle behind the net. Battling forward is Falbo. Evan and Coro finishes a check. And Falbo chips it out, but it's going to be kept right at the blue line as it goes out. And the Eagles will get a change. Both clubs will try to get a change. It'll be the Eagles first. As Campbell now on the left wing. We'll try to dump it in. That one's going to go down the length of the ice for no icing. Wave that one off there. Alfaro behind the net battling. Thrown in front. Black was looking for. And we're going to have Nick Walters now. Walters has it and just throws that one on net there. Kind of want to see him maybe be a little more patient with the puck. You had a man trailing on your left wing, but didn't see it, so he just does a safe play and throws that one on net. But good for USF there, Pat. The first 10 seconds of the period shorthanded to keep it simple and was able to get that quick kill there.
USF is having a little trouble with the linesman here, as an icing might have cost them the first goal they gave up against FGCU, and then the icing there gets waved off that USF thought should have been called. Almost creates an opportunity for the Eagles, so USF's going to have to be very careful about that.
Here the Eagles now left corner, drifting behind the net, looking for someone to go with it. They'll drop it right circle, and a snatch there by Sam Coleman. That was on number 25, Alfonso Diaz. It's a good play by the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles there behind their own net, behind their offensive net. Face-off is won by USF as Tim Lynch now will drop it for Sheehan, right wall. It's going to be kept in by the Eagles. Lynch will chip it up the wall in front of the blue line now. Back to center ice, and that one's going to be knocked down by, I believe that was Walters. The puck gets in deep. And the Eagles will have it in their own end, coming across center ice on the right wall, and they'll just dump it in. That one's going to go left corner, retrieved by Tim Lynch. Tim Lynch has it. Drops for Lozicki in front. A little tap feed for Sheehan, center ice. Has some speed, trying to get it in deep. That one's going to be taken away by the Eagles. Sheehan still battling on the puck there. And we're going to get a USF power play, Pat.
A great opportunity here for USF. A strong first 2 minutes and 17 seconds, and they managed to draw a call there with a good forecheck. FGCU has pretty clear possession of that puck. It's really 1-on-3, but an absolutely great individual effort there by Logan Sheehan, and he creates and sends the captain of FGCU to the box. A fantastic opportunity here for USF to grab a lead here in the second period.
Face-off is to the right of Kirch, and it's won by Ethan Coro. Campbell loses it, still battling for it. And the Eagles will chip it off the wall and down the length of the ice. Alfaro behind his own net. The troops here drops for Coro as he'll lead it out at center ice up the right wall past the USF bench. Goes in the right corner. He's going to try to pull it behind the net. He will. Backhands to Falbo left point. Falbo loses it. And a dangerous play there. A good play by Alfaro to keep that puck in. Would have been a 2-on-1 Pat. And here's Taylor. Falling Florida Gulf Coast defenders kept in right point by Alfaro. Now testing. All right, folks, as we're back here, having a little trouble with the internet connection here in the arena. But USF on a power play. 9:10 remaining in the second period. There's a minute and 20 remaining on a USF power play. They could not score on the 5-on-3. 3-2 Florida Gulf Coast. Behind the net is Sheehan. He's going to look for Nelson at the right point. Can't get there, and have two players there. I believe that was Seth Cohen, the leading scorer, and he's all alone on the left circle. Here comes Cohen. He's in. Saved by Coleman. Big stop there.
They did draw a penalty, though.
As we see Connor Black, who's drifting with it. The second leading scorer, as USF will finally touch it. So they're just calling a slash, and that's going to be on, I believe, Tim Lynch, Pat.
Not what you wanted if you're USF. You've got a minute left on your own power play. Now it comes a minute of 4-on-4. Then we're going to see another power play for FGCU. There'll be some open ice, though, so we're going to see what USF is capable of. It's been a little bit of a dominating pressure by FGCU the last 5 minutes. But the Ice Bulls have an opportunity now, about a minute before they will have to go on the penalty kill.
Face-off will be to the left of Sam Coleman. 8:37 remaining in the second period. It's 3-2. So, like Pat had alluded to, 4-on-4 hockey here for about a minute. And that's a shot by the Eagles. It goes high and over the net of Sam Coleman. Falbo has it. Drops for Campbell. And Campbell just knocks that one down.
He seems to forget. He's being told now by Taylor it's 4-on-4. He forgot. He forgot they were on a power play before. You want to make sure the situational awareness is always there. So it's going to be an offensive zone face-off for the Eagles.
Yeah, it's another big draw. You're down a goal, and as we've seen tonight, Florida Gulf Coast, when they win a face-off, they can drum up some offense very quickly, and USF does a good job of winning this one. Falbo behind his net drops for Alfaro, left corner. He'll pull it up, and here comes Mitch Campbell with some speed at center ice. Makes his way through about 3 defenders and loses the puck. Back in the possession of Florida Gulf Coast. As they'll drop it, Campbell. Heavy on their retrieval. Campbell has a puck with it. Waiting, just throws it on net. Saved by Kirch. No rebound as we'll get a little pushing and shoving here after the whistle.
Love to see Campbell do a little bit more with that, as that was a pretty weak shot.
As we have Campbell and Taylor now getting into it.
There'll be some offsetting penalties here, as you can see the referee motioning, saying you're both going.
Both benches are really heated here as this game is kind of taking that intensity up a notch. As it'll be Dylan Taylor and number 5 for the Eagles. That's Blake Hartman. Both will serve roughing penalties.
Taylor got a little bit of a whack there on the pad right after the play ended. Hartman took exception to that. They start the scrum. That's why they're in the box.
Plenty of time for USF to tie this one up. I mean, this game is far from over. We have about, 28 minutes of hockey left. 3-2. It's a one-goal game. Face-off will be in the offensive zone for USF. It'll be Kenny Waitman, the captain, taking the draw to the right of Kirch.
If you're USF, this is a big, big opportunity here. You need to get this kill. Make sure you get back to 5-on-5 hockey, and then you can start trying to chip away at that one-goal lead.
So as we're waiting at the scorer's table, the referees are waiting for an official time, trying to get this all sorted out.
Remember, we had that error earlier at the end of the first period where the clock and the penalty were not quite synced up.
Yeah.
Actually added a couple of seconds to the FGCU power play. I think maybe the USF coach gave them a little bit of a hard time for that, so they're making sure they've got 3 different penalty times, 2 offsetting minors, and then 2 different separate penalties. They're trying to make sure the timing is correct before they get started back.
So it looks like we finally have it all squared away as the official gives word. We will have a face-off here, again to the right of Kirch. It'll be Kenny Waitman at the draw. It's going to be Alfaro and Falbo on defense. Looks like Danila McKev on the right wing. Face-off is won by the Eagles. Battling for possession at center ice, and here come the Eagles now with speed, and McKev drops his stick with an opportunity to maybe attack there, but drop the stick, and Falbo will pinch in. And now we're going to have...
Power play has started for FGCU.
Yes, power play is going, and down ice now is Dylan Taylor, or excuse me, that's McKev, has it backhand. Look for Waitman cross just ahead of him, and as a net comes off the moorings there. And my goodness, the Florida Gulf Coast net has come off the moorings at least 3 times in this period.
That was a dangerous opportunity there for the Ice Bulls, though. Mikev on the right-hand side, just a little bit better. You see him coming down. The defenseman pinches on him, and there's a diving play back with the back check on Waitman. A better saucer pass there, though, and he has a great opportunity on net.
Tinny Waitman's right on the doorstep there. Nick Walters will take the face-off. 7:24 remaining in the second period. 3-2 Florida Gulf Coast. Nick Walters, face-off won by the Eagles, behind their own net now as they wait. On the power play, they're going to have a power play for 40 seconds here. Right wall now, dropping right point. Looking, left point. Eagles have the puck, left circle. Going to go back to the left point. Looking for a shot, going to go back left circle. Has some room in the slot, a shot and a blocker save by Coleman. Rebound right corner, Nick Walters has it, can't get it out, kept in left point. Crossfeed right point now, drops in the slot, a shot. Excuse me, that goes right circle, and that shot's going to be high and over the net, but USF cannot get this puck out as the cycle continues. Left wall now, left point for the Eagles. Right point, looking, right corner. Going to go back to the right point for a slapper at the point, just goes wide as we have 5-on-5 hockey. The penalty has been killed, but the cycle will continue for the Eagles. USF on its heels here, needing to get this puck out. A shot, that one's blocked in front. Lozicki will battle for it. And Tim Lynch will drop it for Lozicki, who has a little speed, but he'll run right into a fender. And that'll be taken away, played off the glass. Kept in by Rhodes at center ice. Nelson has it as he'll drop for Walters here at the blue line. A lot of neutral zone play here as Nelson will dump it in and both teams get a change back.
And the offsetting minors are about to end as well. The next stoppage, those guys will get back on the ice.
Big break there for USF as an offsides. That would have been a potential 3-on-1 had that been onside. 5:56 remaining in the second period. 3-2 is your score in favor of the Gulf Coast.
FGCU there is not a fan of the calls so far. They've been having some bad luck in the box, and now that offsides call just goes against them. But again, they have the 3-2 lead, 5:56 left in the second period, but an offensive zone faceoff for USF.
Captain for Florida Gulf Coast is thrown out of the faceoff. It's Ethan Coro. He wins it cleanly. Campbell tried to pull back up for a shot. Coro wide open the slot, a shot. Save made a rebound. Where is it? Goes right corner. Coro has again. Fans on a shot in the slot. Trying to spin from behind there and just throw that one on net. Lost his balance. Alfaro with it. Excuse me, that's Drake DePaulo. DePaulo loses the puck on the left wall. Here comes the Gulf Coast. They just throw one to the side of the net. A battle behind Sam Coleman. Campbell has it. He'll dump it back in. That one goes off the ref, and Florida Gulf Coast is able to keep that one in. Dylan Taylor has it. He has Campbell going down the length of the ice, and the puck is batted down by a Florida Gulf Coast defender at center ice. And a nice play by the captain of the Eagles. Just chips that one towards Coleman right in the chest. He'll save. 5:11 remaining in the second period. 3-2 is your score. What do you want to see USF do here, Walker? The final 5 minutes of play. It's been pretty back and forth this period. You give up the goal, you give up the lead. What do you want to see USF do if they can't score here to at least get in the room, not down more than one, I should say?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. USF just needs to stay aggressive as they have been. They've had some great opportunities on the net, and they've been able to keep the puck out of their own net. Sam Coleman's been doing a phenomenal job. They just need to keep doing what they're doing, and eventually one of these pucks will sneak into the back of the net, especially if they can maybe get on another power play by the end of this period.
As Gulf Coast coming in now, they'll rocket up the right wing, and they'll put that one high and over Coleman. That puck's going to drift all the way back into Florida Gulf Coast territory as they play with it now. The forecheck getting a little more aggressive here, Pat, by USF.
Forecheck getting aggressive, and if you're USF, one of the other things you want to see is you want to make sure you hit the net. We've had a couple of fan shots so far. Puck doesn't get on net, it's not going to go in the back of the net. So you got to make sure those get and challenge the goaltender. You got to do something with the puck.
There's a little speed here by Alfaro. Scored the game winner last night. Alfaro battling through the defense. Kenny Waitman will look for a hit there in the corner. Misses his man. Falvo has it. Drops to Sheehan. He'll dump it in. Birch behind his own net as USF and both Florida Gulf Coast get a change. 4 minutes remaining in this one. chip down the length of the ice and out of play. I believe that one goes on the bench, so they won't have the delay of game penalty. Definitely been, for the most part, after those power plays, Pat, and after the third goal, it's been mostly Florida Gulf Coast with the dangerous offensive chances.
And if you're USF, you've got 4 minutes left in the second period. You'd like to see a strong finish. You might not be able to pot that tying goal. We got 20 minutes in the third period to be able to do that. Right now, you want to set a tone, get physical, and get those shots on net.
Face off won by the Ice Bulls, as they'll just slap one. That one's going to be deflected behind the net. You like to see the Ice Bulls sustain a little offensive pressure here. Down a goal. Florida Gulf Coast has it in their own end with Speed at center ice, and they'll just dump it in. Behind the net, Coleman will go to grab it, but Lynch will beat him to it there. Defenseman Tim Lynch battling for it. It's going to be chipped to center ice by Nick Walters. Logan Sheehan putting a little pressure on the forecheck. Good play by Sheehan, forcing a quick pass. Eagles once again. Good play by Walters. Tried to kick that one around. He couldn't do it. But
that was a dangerous opportunity there. That was a out-alone breakaway if he gets it.
Florida Gulf Coast will backhand at the blue line. Almost hits a ref. No icing. Shipped in the USF zone is Tim Lynch now in his own end. Left wall is going to backhand that one to center ice, and Lozicki has it. The leading goal scorer for USF tries to get around the defense of Florida Gulf Coast, but he just can't. And here comes Florida Gulf Coast. 2-on-2. Right wing. Throws. That one's going to be deflected. It's going to go in front of Coleman. Left corner now. Got to be careful here with Seth Cohen, number 12. Florida Gulf Coast is on the ice. A leading goal scorer has an assist tonight and a goal. Shot from the point. Save made. Rebounds loose. Cohen's right there on the doorstep. USF needs to get this puck out, and oh boy, might have a chance for a breakaway. Here's Campbell, a racing goaltender for Florida Gulf Coast that goes around him. And oh boy, what a play by Kirch. He came all the way out to the blue line. 3-on-2 now developing for Florida Gulf Coast. A shot, save made Coleman. No rebound, and my goodness, Pat, as we'll see, you can hear the bench and the fans of Florida Gulf Coast. That was going to be a breakaway for Campbell. Kirch, as we see, comes all the way out to the blue line to grab this puck.
And if Campbell manages to get that around him, see, he tries to chip it over. If he goes around, he might actually end up having an empty net. There's two Florida Gulf Coast defensemen chasing there, so they might be able to get in the way of any shot. But, I mean, that's a dangerous play. You take the risk. If you get it, you're clearing it, and you stop a breakaway. If you don't get it, it's basically an empty net.
It's a championship risk, right? It's a championship game. You're up one. As Florida Gulf Coast wins the draw, a hard slapper from the left blue line is going to be gloved by Sam Coleman. There was even some traffic there, but back to that other play. I mean, it's a championship game. You got to take a little risk, right? No risk it, no biscuit.
This is the last game of the season for both of these teams before you get to regionals. This is the last conference game of the season. You want that title. That's the kind of thing you got to do if you really want to win.
Face off won by USF as they'll lead it up the left wall on their own end. Campbell will drop it center ice for, I believe that's Coro, the power forward, going to muscle his way into the corner now. Finishes the check as he always does, and there's going to be a penalty here. And it's going to be on Florida Gulf Coast. That's going to be an elbow. Looked like an elbow from this vantage point as we're waiting to get the official call. Coro's injured on the play. He's slowly skating off. He's going to go into the locker room. Coro got hurt. Let's see on the replay. Actually, they're going to not give us a replay, but that's a big blow if Ethan Coro cannot come back. He's been a force in this game so far. He's going to finish a check, it looked like, Pat.
It is. It's going to be a high stick. Looks like they might have been checking him for blood, as sometimes that can be the double major, the double minor, single minor designation. They're putting 2 up on the board, so it looks like it'll just be.
Even though they're wearing, the face guards, I mean, with a high stick, gets under the guard, gets on the chin, on the neck, you draw a little blood, that will be 4 minutes.
It's a thin blade. Like, it's not that hard to get it through if it gets up there fast enough.
So, big opportunity here for USF on the power play. Minute and 56 remaining in the second period. Down a goal.
Huge opportunity here. A 2-minute penalty. It's actually identical to the first period where it was 1:56 left in the period for Florida Gulf Coast. So now you get the other way going for USF.
Kenny Waitman is at center ice, Pat. You can see he's arguing for something. And the bench doesn't look too happy either of the Ice Bulls.
Well, I mean, you never like to lose a guy, and you never want to try and get an equation for what equals losing a player, especially one like Ethan Coro. But a 2-minute minor penalty for a high stick that costs a guy and makes him go back to the dressing room, you might understand why that bench is upset, and they might have wanted more than just a 2-minute minor.
Face-off will be to the left of Kurtz. It's going to be Walters on the draw, Lozicki, Waitman on the wings, Falbo, and Alfaro at the points. It's won by Florida Gulf Coast. Kepin, Alfaro left point. Big opportunity here for USF. Loose in front. He shoots. And oh my goodness, they thought it was in. It was a shot from the point by Malco Alfaro. Rebound came right to Lozicki's blade, as we'll see the replay here. Let's take another look at this, Pat. It's shot on net, and Lozicki had the rebound, goes right to the chest. Wide open net. And if anybody, you want to have a wide open rebound, it's a leading goal scorer for the team.
Indeed, and that's just a fantastic opportunity there. Great puck luck. Lozicki gets a decent piece of that. He just gets the wrong angle, and it goes off the goaltender's pad and then kind of skates its way up into his chest. Bad luck, good luck there.
Minute and 30 remaining in the period. Minute and 31 remaining in the power play. Is USF in their own end. Bringing it up now. Up to Falbo on the right wing. Excuse me, that's Nick Walters. Well, that is Falbo. Excuse me, he looks for Walters in the slot, and that was shot right to the feet of a defender. Alfaro, center point, blocked. Rebound. Alfaro gets his own rebound. Kept in by Lozicki, but it'll be knocked away at center ice. Falbo in his own end. A little bit of urgency we're seeing here from USF. Lozicki now. Holding. He'll drop for Falbo. Falbo coming with speed up the right wing. He'll take it in himself. He'll get it in deep. Really need a retrieval there. That one's going to be kept in. That's kept in by Alfaro, but he couldn't get a hold. It's going to be one-on-one now. Falbo in front of his man. Falbo, he stepped around Falbo. A shot, and it goes up on Coleman. Falbo gets absolutely stepped around there, one-on-one.
An incredibly dangerous opportunity there created by the Eagles.
Dangerous play by Lozicki, who turns it over.
They've got a very good forecheck going right now. USF just is not able to create pressure on the power play.
30 seconds remaining, 25 remaining in the period. Falbo has it as he looks to get it in deep. He can't, but he keeps it in right wing. Let's see if he can make a pass. No, he's going to throw it right to Florida Gulf Coast. And could have had a breakaway there. Coleman has it. He chips it off the wall. Nobody there on USF for it, as Coleman's a little bit out of his crease, but he'll get that one. He's going to have to hold it. So it's going to be a defensive zone face-off on the power play. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. 11.3 remaining in the second period. Going to be tough for USF, Pat, for 11.3 seconds to win a draw and get a puck up ice, but crazier things have happened.
You would need a clean win and a very quick up. 11 seconds is probably exactly the minimum you could have to be able to do something with this. But, at the end of the day, you're going to the third period, possibly just down 2-3.
It's definitely more important for USF to win this draw in their defensive zone. We've seen Florida Gulf Coast tonight already get a goal off a face-off play, and it is won by USF as Campbell would just backhand it down the ice, no icing, 3-2, and that'll do it for the second period. Well, your final score. Your score after 2 periods, rather. We're not final yet.
Don't be getting ahead of us, Way. We got a chance.
We got 20 minutes of hockey left. It's 3-2 Florida Gulf Coast. We're going to take a 14-minute intermission here. We want to apologize for the technical difficulties we've been having. Wi-Fi has been going down on us. We have a hard internet connection. That's been going down. So a little bit out of our element here at Amalie. But we're working with it. As like we said, 3-2. We're going to take a 14-minute intermission. We'll be back in about 13 minutes. So stay with us. All right, folks, and we are back here live at Amalie Arena for the start of the third period. As the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles up by a goal here. They'll be shorthanded for about 4 seconds. Pat, what's USF going to have to do here in this third period to get going down a goal? You got at least 4 seconds of a power play. Not going to really going to amount to much on that. But you got a full period here. They're just going to have to keep this play simple, get pucks on net, and really, you have to go all out here. Championship game, final period. It's win or go home.
Absolutely, and I think the counterattack is going to be key. You've seen them have a lot of dangerous opportunities when FGCU is trying to stretch out the ice. USF's been able to counterattack, maybe even get some odd man rushes. It's how they got their first goal. It's how they got their second goal, or it's how they got their second goal. More of that in this period, I think, is going to do them well.
Well, if any team can do it in this tournament, we've seen it from USF down 3-1 in the third period of yesterday's game. A little bit of a step up of competition here against the Eagles, as the play is now at center ice. Ethan Coro has returned, and Coro has the puck at center ice. He'll backhand that one down behind the net of the Eagles. As he'll throw it up the right wall, it's going to be kept in left point by Alfaro. He'll chip one, will be blocked, rebound, Coro left corner, and Campbell has it. Back door, that's going to be Dylan Taylor, and a nice save there by Courage. Good start for USF early. Alfaro has it. He just rips one of the point. Save made, rebounds loose. That'll drift to the wall there. Big finish of a check by Mitch Campbell. And Alfaro will dump that one on net as USF will get a change. Campbell's racing and stolen by USF. Nick Walters has it behind the net. Runs into the referee, but Sheehan's there. He'll lose it. And the Eagles will regain possession. But that's a nice start there. First minute of play by USF, causing turnovers in the offensive zone.
You have to like that if you're the USF coaching staff. You've got 2 quick opportunities there, less than a minute into the game. That's exactly what you're going to need if you want to be able to put a goal behind this goaltender. You know, he's been playing well the entire game. You're going to get some maybe traffic in front, but keep playing dangerous. And you get 2 shots on goal every minute, you're going to start getting a goal pretty soon.
Puck is now behind the Eagles zone, and they try to get off the wall. It's going to be kept in by USF. Alex Rhodes will throw it behind the net for Nick Walters. Right corner has it. Walters battling for it. Right corner for Sheehan, who tried to get to Lozicki, couldn't get to him. Still battling on the wall is USF. Walters has it. He'll shoot, and he'll put it wide, miss the net. Alex Rhodes left point. He'll keep it in again. Nice play by Alex Rhodes, and this one will finally get out. And here's a leading scorer for Florida Gulf Coast. He'll dump it in. Seth Cohen. Cohen in front, a loose puck as USF flying around here to try to get this puck out, and that's a shot deflected by Cohen from the point. USF really needs to get this puck out. Kenny Waitman has it. He'll throw it up the left wall. Can't get it out. Left point, that one's going to be blocked. And Florida Gulf Coast will regain possession. They'll drop for, actually they'll just dump that one in. They'll get the change. USF will do the same as Alex Rhodes has it. He'll backhand it to center ice. 17:30 remaining in the third period. That USF defense desperately trying to get a final change here. Looking gas, Pat.
You saw some really great keeps there by USF. One of the keys to being able to get some zone time, they're going to have to work that point and make sure that when Florida Gulf Coast tries to get those clears, it's not an easy road to sow. So they did a good job of that so far. You stay at that blue line, stay aggressive, and have another good keep there.
Has it, drops from McKev. Kenny Waitman behind his own net, offensive net. And that one's going to be thrown down the length of the ice. That'll be an icing, so the face-off will come back to the left of Kirch. And you said it, Pat. I mean, down a goal here in the third period. It's win or go home. Championship trophy on the line. You got to see a little bit more aggressiveness from the USF blue line, pinching, keeping the puck in. And they have to get aggressive. Yeah, at this point, the only thing you have to lose is this game, and you're trying not to do that as a shot is made by Nelson that goes wide. Face-off is won by USF, and a 2-on-1 here for the Eagles. Left wing hold, shoot, saved by Coleman. No rebound. Didn't attempt to pass there. Pat on the 2-on-1, stayed on the left wing, and that's a big stop by Sam Coleman.
Well, and that's what having a great goaltender like Coleman in net does for you. If you're the defenseman, you're able to do that small fake poke check. You then go ahead and take the guy out, crash in the net. You give Coleman a chance one-on-one to make a save. He does just that. You have that trust in your goaltender, and when you got Coleman in net, it's an easy call to make.
They always say in a 2-on-1, just take the winger. Let the goaltender take the shooter, and that's exactly what Sam Coleman did. As Florida Gulf Coast wins that one. Left corner now behind the net. It's gonna actually that one's gonna fall for Ethan Coro at the blue line. Chip to center ice by Florida Gulf Coast, and Alfaro will have it. Dylan Taylor with it. He'll drop for Mitch Campbell, who stops. Try to get it in deep. He can't. Campbell will pull away with it. Still has it. Campbell drops right corner for Dylan Taylor. A shot and a save by Kirch. No rebound. Kirch giving no room on that right wing. And oh boy, there was a shot there. That was a shot on Mitch Campbell by Florida Gulf Coast.
The referee was staring at that, so he must not have seen anything too bad.
They're not going to give it to Campbell. Rather, they're not going to give the penalty to Florida Gulf Coast. Campbell looked like he was decked pretty hard after the play with a punch.
Taylor really didn't have much of an angle there.
They are going to give him the penalty. It's going to be a USF power play, Pat.
That's a huge opportunity here. 3 minutes and 36 seconds into the third period. A fantastic opportunity for USF. Take some of the advantage of some of that energy they've been having. They look like they've been humming. They've been ready to put something on net. If they can do that again here in the power play, they could put one behind, tie this game up, and then all of a sudden, who knows?
So the top power play unit for USF will be on the ice. It's Nick Walters at the draw. Sheehan on his right wing. Lozicki, the leading goal scorer, on the left wing. Falbo at the left point. Michael Alfaro on the right point. Big face-off here for USF. They win it cleanly. Sheehan. Right point, Alfaro. Alfaro drifts right circle for Sheehan, who has it. The shot blocked. And Gulf Coast will throw it down the length of the ice. Coleman has it. He'll drop for Alfaro, who has it behind his own net. Lozicki will pick it up, and he'll lead the charge. Into the neutral zone with a little speed at center ice. Lozicki with it. Still has it. Lozicki tries to make a fancy move around. He can't. And that's going to be kept in play. That one's off the stanchion. That's going to stay in. Falbo right point. Drifts to the slot. Arister puts it just wide. Rebound Sheehan, left wall. Sheehan with it now. Left corner. Going to go left point. That's going to be to Alfaro. Alfaro drifting center point. Whiffs on a pass, but gets back to Sheehan. Falbo, right circle. A shot. Blocked. Rebounds loose. Nick Walters, right corner. Walters has it. Looking for somewhere to go. He's going to go back behind the net for Lozicki. Lozicki has it. Right point, Falbo. Falbo going to take a shot. That was going to be deflected by a defender. Gulf Coast has it, and they'll get it down. No, that one's going to be keeping. What a keep by Alfaro. A diving keep. Left corner now. A shot by Walters into the stomach of Kirchhoff. What an effort by Michael Alfaro to keep that clear in.
That's an amazing keep, and again, that's what you need here. You cannot let the puck get out of the zone. Alfaro does such a fantastic job, literally a diving play at the blue line. If you're USF, though, you need somebody in that slot or in front of the net. Right now, they've got the guys so spread out. They're basically just all around the rim doing kind of a rainbow power play. That's not going to get it done.
Nelson with it. He'll drop for Kenny Waitman. Kenny Waitman has it, right corner. Going to drop right point for Tim Lynch. Tim Lynch with it. Looking, holding. Tries to get the defender out of his way. Waitman still holding. Center point. He'll throw it on net. It's going to be McKeeve. He'll drop it in front. Malati. Kenny Waitman, a shot. And oh boy, he'll put it right. And they're going to have a battle here. Kenny Waitman had a rebound opportunity to the right side of the net. The left wall. Malati makes a move around. He can't get through Florida Gulf Coast at the blue line. And they'll dump it in. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Tim Lynch with it. He drops for Kenny Waitman. Couldn't get a hold of that one. Nelson left point. He'll just throw that one on net. That was deflected just wide by Kenny Waitman. Had an opportunity for a good deflection goal. Did Waitman. And oh boy, here's the leading scorer for Florida Gulf Coast as he drifts in and puts a shot just wide. That one is kept in at the blue line. But here's Tim Lynch with a little speed as USF will get a change, and USF needs to be careful here. Florida Gulf Coast dumps it in. Sam Coleman behind his own net for Scott Nelson. Nelson has it. Will be kept in by Florida Gulf Coast. Potentially 2-on-1. No. That's a good play by Mitch Campbell there. Ethan Coro lands a big hit at the blue line. And here's Cohen now drifting. Drop, center point, a shot. Same man Coleman. Rebounds loose, and he'll be all over that one. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty here. And that was a nice, we had what Florida Gulf Coast thought was a flop by Campbell. And we're definitely going to have a flop by number 26, Connor Black of Florida Gulf Coast. And Florida Gulf Coast, Pat's going to go to the power play here.
They are indeed. And if you're USF, you need a stop here. It's not just a 3-2 game, but you've only got 13 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game. And the way that FGCU's been playing, the way that their goaltender's been playing, it's one thing to ask them to get 1 goal, 2 to win it, but 2 to tie and 3 to win, that's a lot.
And Ethan Coro's at center ice talking to the official, wanting an explanation on that one. But at any rate, one of the better penalty-killing defensemen, Pat, Tim Lynch, is now serving that that penalty rather. And this is a big kill for USF if they want to have any chance to stay in this game. You do not want to be down 2 goals to Florida Gulf Coast with 13:41 remaining in the third period.
That is a huge loss there, and you know they're going to have to fight through it. Got to try and get this puck out quickly.
Left point now for Florida Gulf Coast, drifting. They're going to go back to the left circle. Pulls it up the left wall, going to go behind the net left corner. Gulf Coast with it, dropping left circle, looking for a cross-ice feed. That was going to be a nice play there by Falbo at center point. They couldn't get the puck out. Rebounds loose on the backhands. Florida Gulf Coast a shot. Save made Colvin. Rebounds loose again. USF cannot get this puck out. Nick Walters racing for it. Florida Gulf Coast will keep it in. That one goes around the rink here. Lozicki going to try to backhand that one out, and he will. And Walters makes a move. Ooh, I would have had a breakaway if he could have made that move. Didn't make it. And here comes the dangerous Florida Gulf Coast power play. Dumps it in now. Behind the net. Left corner. Back behind the net in the left wall. Left point. Holding. Simple shot. That was going to be deflected to the right corner now. Left point. Looking. Throws it. Rebound. A shot. Saving. Where's the rebound? It's loose. USF looking to get that one out, and they might have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. They have Lozicki down ice. Lozicki waiting for it, and they're going to call him offside. Would have been in all alone there. Good effort by Lozicki. USF gets a much-needed change. 12:25 remaining in the third period. 45 seconds remaining in the power play for Florida Gulf Coast. And we have an offside called there. That's two dangerous opportunities for USF. Short-handed, Pat. Potentially, if the onside, the offsides would have complied with them.
Well, and it was how FGCU got their first goal in this game was shorthanded. You know, USF would love to return the favor here with a shorthanded goal of their own, but right now your focus has got to be the last 41 seconds of this penalty kill it off, and then you'll have about 11 and a half minutes left to try and tie this game up and then win it.
Puck is behind the USF net. Florida Gulf Coast with it. The dangerous Seth Cohen drifting, comes up in the slot, finds Black left circle. He's going to go left point now. Goes right point. Good play by Dylan Taylor to block a cross-ice feed, and there's Mitch Campbell looking to hop on a pass. Florida Gulf Coast will get around it, though, and Scott Nelson will drift that one down the length of the ice. 5 remaining on the penalty kill, so essentially killed off for USF. And a big play there by Taylor with some troops coming. And that one's backhanded out of the blue line. They can't keep it in. Nelson will just dump it in. Here comes the captain, Kenny Waitman. You can see the urgency in his strides there. And you think every shift from now on, Pat, needs to be 100% urgency.
And you can we're in a big arena right now, and we're watching collegiate hockey, so it's not as full as it would normally be during a Lightning game. And that's what gives you a chance to see something that's so important to the game, but that's hard to notice when you're just watching on TV. And that's the communication from the bench. It signals not only just like giving them information like how many guys are back on an odd man rush, how to set up in the zone, but also just shows you the energy that both these teams are playing with. You see pretty much every player for FGCU is standing up right now. They've been having that the entire game basically, where the bench has just had a complete intensity about them. Almost basically just 12 extra referees at some point.
As an offside is called at the Florida Gulf Coast blue line, so the faceoff will be right outside of the blue line. Kenny Waitman at the draw. It is won by Florida Gulf Coast. Alfaro. He'll drip to Falbo. Falbo has it. Dumps it in. Waitman racing for it. Florida Gulf Coast is playing shutdown mode. McKeeve has it. Right corner. A pinch up by Falbo. Tries to keep it in. He's going to go right corner. Kenny Waitman will battle for it. Kept in by Zach Malati. He'll throw it down for Kenny Waitman. Kenny Waitman still has it. Drops back from Malati, and that one's going to come outside, and they'll be offsides. Florida Gulf Coast really picking up the pace here in their own end. As you'd imagine, Alfaro now drifting in his own end. He'll throw cross ice in their own zone for Falbo. Falbo will lose it to Florida Gulf Coast as they chip it in from center. Puck is potentially too many men on the ice there if they couldn't get that escape blades off the bench. Falbo finishes a check at center ice. Scorekeeper not happy about that as his water bottle just spilled all over his papers. Nick Walters racing for it. Walters will win that race, and a big check by Walters. Buck's at his feet. See if he can make a play here. Sheehan has it behind the net, looking for someone at the point. Actually, he'll backhand it off to himself. Nick Walters battling for it. 2-on-1 battle behind the net. Sheehan goes in for a little helping hand. Logan Sheehan battling for it. Backhands it. Scott Nelson left point. Has a little room. Scott Nelson's going to move it back to Sheehan. Sheehan's going to go cross point to Apollo. Apollo needs to get a shot on net here. A shot. Deflected. It's in. Scores! Nick Walters on the rebound. It went off the post. Fell to Nick Walters. And he backhands it in. And it's a tie game here with 9:21 remaining. We're all tied up in the championship game, and it's a brand new ball game, Pat.
Goal, goal, goal! We have it in a 3-3 game. What a play. You think that we're just going to get the tees off the post, but then he finishes it up, and oh my goodness, we got 9.5 minutes left and a tie game for the title. And so 9 minutes and 20 seconds left here. USF ties it up. And what a game we have here, folks.
The crowd's loving it. You can see the momentum. You can see the life on the USF bench. They're the ones standing up now. The life is there. The crowd's into it. Come on, USF. Let's go get that trophy.
Absolutely. The only number we like better than 3 is 4, and let's see if they can get just one more. Working it in deep is Coro. Campbell takes it off his stick and gets it back to the point. It's the same group that just scored. Nelson, he works it in. It's got down to the lower slot. It's going to be taken, though, by Cohen. Got to be careful. Cohen filters it in slowly. Little snow shower there from Cohen on Coleman. The Coe brothers, they are two of the best players we've seen. Cohen's already scored tonight for FGCU, and Coleman has just been standing on his head as he has been for the last 2 years.
Walker, what did you see on that goal? Because that was such a great setup. A cross-ice feed to Drake DePaul. He puts the puck on net, and it's deflected right at the feet of Walters off the post. Rebound falls to his stick, and he ties this game up.
It was absolutely a great goal. It involved almost everybody on the ice. It was a great team effort. I mean, when it bounced off the post, it almost looked like it might have gone in to begin with. So we really should get 2 points for that one because we put it in twice. But I don't know about that.
We'll have to ask the scorekeeper about that, but for now it's going to be a tied 3-3 game. Just one goal on that, but that's the only goal we needed right now.
You see the intensity, Pat. USF is finishing every check they can right now. The life is back in that bench, and they have a good opportunity here to win a championship.
Absolutely, and that's always been the thing that USF has had over pretty much all of its opponents is the physicality element, that they have some really big power forwards who are just able to throw the body around and change momentum just like that. And we'll see what they can do here as Lynch dumps it in. Taking it in, USF's got it near the face-off circle. They're going to trickle in a slow shot. Doesn't reach the goalkeeper, though. They do manage to keep it at the point. Lynch is going to get a shot off, but it goes over the net. Waitman gets some pressure on. Oh, but it's going to be taken by Malcolm. He's up the right-hand side. Shot goes wide, and 2 players crash into the boards. Florida Gulf Coast still not happy about that call. They think Malcolm was taken out. But now Florida Gulf Coast is going to try and set up. Mulholland is offsides, though.
Took a shot after the whistle there. The bench not happy about that one.
At this point, I think both the benches are basically going to be upset at every single call that isn't goal in their favor.
Oh, yeah.
I think we pretty much can infer very little from either bench at this point. They got 7 minutes left in their season. Both teams want to win this badly. USF has been kind of unhappy maybe with some of the icing calls. FGCU feels like they've been in the box a little bit too much. The referees are calling it down the middle, and both sides just kind of have
intentional offside. So the faceoff will be on the Florida Gulf Coast side of the blue line, Pat.
And that's an interesting call after FGCU's upset about the offside call, but it's going to be called intentional. And that's just how it happens sometimes. So USF has it in the offensive zone. They're going to be against the faceoff circle. FGCU here with the dangerous opportunity to possibly get an odd man rush. But a nice finish along the boards by Sheehan cancels that out. Puck is going to end up going on the FGCU net, and they're going to stop it for a offensive zone faceoff for USF. Should be to the left of the goaltender, but they're going to set up on the right. Or they're going to set on the left side.
Yeah, faceoff will be to the right. To the left of Kirch, and the Ethan Coro line's out there. Most physical line we've had tonight. Big opportunity for this line with the momentum in our favor to bank one in. 7
minutes to go here. Both teams are buzzing. And it's chased here by Wyatt Engelman for FGCU. He battles against number 20 for USF. A great back check there by Coro.
Fast break.
And Campbell and Taylor have an opportunity here for a fast break. Campbell was looking for Taylor, but just barely couldn't get him. A bad angle shot there by Coro, and that creates a possible odd man rush opportunity for FGCU. Alfaro does a good job of getting back, though, and Coleman with the poke check cancels out the danger. Met at the point there by FGCU. Once again, any close call is basically going to be something that's going to be upsetting to whatever bench loses it. So USF did not like that that keep call, but it looked like it was good. FGCU is going to come up the left-hand side of the ice. It's going to be Hartman. He passes it over to the wall. Cohen. Cohen's met by two different USF defenders, but he's going to get some support here by Steinmetz. Steinmetz, he's got Cohen in the slot, but he can't get the pass. It's blocked off. Backhand opportunity. The puck's bouncing around, and it goes just wide.
It goes right through the crease, Pat. My goodness, that's some real puck luck in a championship game here.
It is, and we're nearing the last 5 minutes of the game. I mean, this is just a nail-biter, edge-of-your-seat game right now.
Absolutely.
We really are seeing the two best teams in this conference face off against each other. This is a game that, both teams deserve to win, but only one team can. Horvath takes the shot. Coleman blockers it away. Gets trickled back on net on the rebound by Tremblay, but it's fought off by Coleman and frozen for a defensive zone faceoff for USF to the left-hand side. 5:19 left in the third period. 3-3 game. It's going to be a faceoff to the left of Coleman.
It's final 5 minutes of the year, basically, and, for a championship, you don't want to have to go in overtime if you are USF due to ACHA rules. You'd have the tie. With UT losing today, though, we might have the tiebreaker on that. We'll get some clarification here in a little bit.
Another shot trickles down to Coleman. That was from behind the net. Kind of an odd angle. Coleman's able to get a handle on it and pause it for yet another face-off. Who dumps it into the zone.
Now that puck's got to get out.
Coleman. It's going to be a 2-on-1 opportunity here. Campbell. Oh, but a great back check there by FGCU. They're able to break up what looked like a dangerous opportunity for the Ice Bulls.
Big hit by Falbo behind the net.
Yeah, Campbell looks like he took, or Malcolm looks like he took himself into the boards a little bit there.
God.
And it's no goal. No goal. That's being waved off. FGCU was celebrating, and it's going to be goaltender interference, it looks like. They're going to say they got in the way of Coleman.
You hear the sigh of relief from the USF fans here in attendance as we look at the replay. Shot from the right blue line.
And what a surprise. FGCU is unhappy, and USF thinks it's a good call and is staying silent. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. The head coach is
irate.
The head coach for FGCU is.
Boy, that's a tight call, Pat.
That is a tight call, and once again, we'll see it again here on the big board. FGCU gets it back to the point. Point shot gets loaded up, the long wrister. It goes through, and it just goes straight through Coleman. I think they're saying that.
The captain.
I think they're saying that Malcolm must have gotten his stick
13?
in the way. Yeah, because it wasn't.
Had a stick in the pad.
Yeah, the man making the screen was at least a foot ahead of Coleman. He couldn't have actually gotten involved. He jumped to get out of the way of the puck.
Yeah.
It would have had to have been Malcolm being in the crease that they would call it for.
At any rate, USF dodging a major bullet there. They have to take advantage of this.
Absolutely, this is a huge.
Gulf Coast bench is buzzing now.
That's a huge momentum shift. If you're Florida Gulf Coast, you want that as an opportunity to we can score. We just did it. We're going to do it again. And if you're USF, it's still a 3-3 game when maybe it shouldn't be. And now we have an opportunity to win a title because of that. Any New Orleans Saints fans watching, no, it doesn't matter if the call was right or wrong. It matters if you end up winning the game.
3:37 remaining in the third period. Face off to the left of Coleman, won by USF.
And FGCU takes it here at the point. They're going to get another point shot off. A nice rebound opportunity there, but Coleman's able to fight that one. It's Amalie who helps get it out for USF. They're going to move it up through center ice and try and get it over the blue line. Almost a hip check there on Amalie. And USF looked like they might have wanted a call there.
Oh, boy.
And it looks like the referees are just going to kind of let the guys play at this point.
It's break of luck on that no goal. I think USF got the best call they could.
Well,
so
and
it's all in their hands now.
And with 3 minutes left in the third period of a championship game, you don't want the referees deciding
big
things.
Stop pat by Sam Coleman. USF wasn't able to get that puck out. It fell right in the slot, wide open.
That was Blake Hartman in the upper slot. He gets kind of a mini slapper going. But as has been the case all night, Coleman has been kind of left out to dry on basically all 3 of the goals USF has allowed. But other than that, he's actually had a very clear eye on the puck. He's been able to get in front of things, and FGC's view has been pretty well shut down by him because of it. It's going to be a defensive zone faceoff for USF to the left of Coleman. FGCU keeps it at the point. They get a far shot, but it goes up over the bar. Met at the boards by Rhodes, but FGCU gets possession. Taken behind the net. They're going to work in Gretzky's office and try and curl around the faceoff circle. They get it up to the point. Thinks about the shot, but goes for the pass. Still around the faceoff circle. FGCU goes for the point shot, but it's blocked there by Rhodes. Almost didn't even know he blocked it. It's a 3-on-2 opportunity here for USF. Moving along, Rhodes almost trying to crash the net. Tries to put it out in front, doesn't quite succeed. And now they got the man behind the net with the puck. Rhodes gets it out on the backhand, gets it out to the point. And a great blocker save there as USF with the dangerous opportunity here. Just a little over 2 minutes left in the game. Into the slot that looked like it was either Campbell or Waitman.
My goodness. 2 huge opportunities there for USF, not able to capitalize.
Both teams with great opportunities to win this game in the last 5 minutes.
Third, we're tied at 3, Pat. And every shift is just, you can feel the intensity.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to make a mistake to lose the game, but somebody also has to try and win the game. This is number 3, Horvath, up the left-hand side.
That's a goal.
And it's a goal with a minute and 36 left. FGCU does manage to score.
Well, to be fair, I mean, it looked like he had scored prior to everyone crashing in the back of the net.
It did. It's a pass on a breakaway.
That's a goal. Well,
that's not a goal. That is definitely not a goal.
That is not a goal. And
that is definitely not a goal.
That is not. The puck went into the 5-hole of Sam Coleman, sits at the line, and he's pushed in. That should be no goal.
That should be no goal. The goal was off the moorings when the puck went over the net and the line, and even then, the puck was pushed over with the pad of the goaltender.
And there's nothing we can do about it.
And there's nothing you can do about it. It's reviewable in the sense of when the NHL is playing here, but this is the SCHC, and you can't review it.
Unbelievable.
And that's the explanation that USF is getting from the referee here. And FGCU gets a great goal.
That's a tough way to lose a championship potentially. It's 4-3 now with a minute 36.
And that's what you
just to give a little recap here. I know we don't have any visual here, but it was a 2-on-1. A shot was made, or excuse me, a pass was made in the slot, which turned into a breakaway. He went forehand backhand. He backhanded it into the 5-hole of Coleman. He falls into the seated position. The puck falls at the goal line. And he's ran into the net is still off the moorings here. Look, Sam Coleman is irate. He's saying fix the net. It came off the moorings he was crashed into, which is why the puck went in the back of the net. But there's no video review here.
There's still a stick sitting in the net, too.
Yeah.
Clearly ready for play here as all the referees and linesmen.
Walker.
I don't think that either of the referees.
We'll let the fans speak on this one.
I think that at this point, the referees and linesmen have certainly shortened their Christmas card list to just about their moms and dads. So
that's a tough way to lose a championship game. Hopefully, we can get this tying goal. 1:30 remaining.
Absolutely, a minute and 30 left. Let's see what USF can do. Sam Coleman is already a little bit ways out of his net. They're going to try and set up an offensive zone possession to get an opportunity here. The goal scorer, Horvath here. And Coleman, a minute and 14 left here in the third period. USF a little bit past center ice. They get the puck in, but it's going to be met there. And FGCU is going to be able to clear it out and get it down to the last minute.
Last minute of play here.
And it's Falbo taking it behind the net. Coleman is just about going to have to. Campbell chasing after it. He gets there for USF. It's almost cleared by FGCU, but not quite. Taylor down in deep.
USF needs to get some men in deep here. They're just sitting, almost trying to, I don't know, they're trying to keep the puck out of the back of the net. Sam Coleman's still in his crease. He's just now going. And they're going to call a penalty on USF.
They're going to call it on
Both of them.
Tim Lynch.
They're calling it's going to be 4-on-4. They're calling both of them. So let's see where the face-off will be here. This could work in USF's favor. It'll be 5-on-4.
I would guess, I'm going to guess
out.
a neutral zone face-off just outside of the FGCU blue line.
So they'll keep it 5-on-5 here. They're going to call roughing.
And I'm going to guess a timeout here coming from USF.
USF will take a much-needed timeout. 36.3 remaining in the third period. 4-3 Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast scoring a very controversial goal that was called a goal on the ice from our vantage point up here, and we'll have the highlight tape up later. Something that we don't agree with, Pat. Looked like goaltender interference all the way from the ref was standing. He just saw the puck go in.
I think, though, if there happen to be any FGCU fans watching, or maybe even just the hockey gods, because I don't want to spite myself here, but we had two really close calls there by the referee, and if both of them were reviewable, you probably got the goal that actually ends up being a goal called back because the goaltender is actually interfered with and the puck goes over the line too late because it's laying on the crease. The first goal that was disallowed, there's goaltender interference called there, which was speculative at best unless Malcolm was really getting a stick involved into the goaltender. So, you know, it's a bad call. You don't like it on the breakaway, but when you already get that first one in your favor, you just got to make sure you don't give up that odd man opportunity there. You got to make FGC earn that championship goal, and instead it's on a bad defensive play. You leave Coleman out to dry. He's been your best player all night. And again, all four goals, they're just basically odd man rushes.
So the face-off will be right outside the Florida Gulf Coast blue line. This face-off is more than likely the game. You got to win this draw, and they do.
And it is a 4-on-4. Coleman is going to get out of his net. I mean, it's going to be a 5-on-4, so a de facto power play and a great pass back door there almost sets up USF. They can't quite corral it, though. 22 seconds left here. They're going to need to take it. It's Taylor on the side. He looks, and it's shot wide. He had it back door, but he couldn't quite get it. 14 seconds left. USF desperately looking for one last opportunity. They have it, but they can't quite get it. 8 seconds left. It's a 5-on-4. They have probably one more shot left in them. It drops into the slot. It's bouncing around. 1 second left, and the game is over. FGCU wins it. And oh my goodness, USF had one final opportunity there, maybe even two or three, and they just couldn't quite put them in the net. And you can see Coleman is already being consoled by the Ice Bulls. They are not happy, and of course he's not happy about how that game ended, but they kept it close until the end.
Well, that's a tough way to lose a game, allowing the game winner on a controversial call with about a minute and 30 remaining as the celebration begins for Florida Gulf Coast, and the anger is shown here by USF. Well, tough way to lose. I mean, you tied the game late. You felt the momentum. You felt it moving. You saw it. The intensity was just so high. And, man, just tough to watch. And as a handshake line looks like it'll ensue here. Actually, we're going to line up with the blue lines. I guess they'll do the trophy presentation.
So the two teams are lining up along the blue line here. You can see Coleman is just not happy right now. He's giving the referees he's giving him a handshake. That's a classy move by Coleman. You know, he wasn't happy about that final goal, but he waves to the referees. He lets them know that at the end of the day it's just a game, and he knows how it works. That's a very classy move there by Coleman. That's why we're happy to have him as a part of the team, and he's not just a talented player, but he's got all the respect for the game and for the referees, the players in the world. And the team that went undefeated in the regulation during the season, they stay undefeated, and they win the championship trophy.
Thank you, everybody. I'd like to congratulate both teams on a really exciting game. Let's hear it for them, please, folks. On behalf of the board of directors of our conference, I'd like to thank the host, USF, the Tampa Bay Lightning organization for letting us have this venue for such a really great, exciting game. Thank you very much. Especially like to thank all the families, friends, and fans for coming out today. Give yourselves a big hand. Got a little bit of hardware to get out, and going to be all watching very excitedly as both of these teams move on to postseason beyond today. Let's see. First, our league MVP for 2018-2019 season is goaltender from Florida Gulf Coast, Michael Kirch.
Michael Kirch is handed the MVP of the Southern Collegiate Hockey Conference for the season, and you can see it. I mean, it had a great save percentage on the year and really played a big role. I mean, there was a lot of opportunities, Pat, in this game where he kept Florida Gulf Coast in this one.
And we were talking on the broadcasts yesterday when we were at the conference playoffs about just what a high level of talent in terms of goaltenders we have in the conference. Probably 5 or 6 of the best goaltenders in the region are in this conference. Every team has a chance every night just because of how good those goaltenders are.
Head coach Tom Philbin of the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles, he'll win Coach of the Year as they had a 9-0-1 SCHC season record.
Receive the plaque for your conference championship 2018-2019 and your cup. So come on, let's go.
So the captains will get the trophy here. They'll take the picture with the commissioner. USF stands firm, and as you hear the fans and the team celebrate. You know, it's a shame. I understand you had the trophy presentation, but you'd still like to see both teams have the handshake line at the end of it. Didn't get to see that, as USF basically stood at the blue line to watch the other team get a trophy.
It's been something we've actually seen yesterday as well, where just because they have the awards ceremony, I think the players just aren't used to that kind of setup, but you really would like to see that kind of more traditional hockey thing, the handshake line at the end of the game.
Well, this has been fun. It's been a fun season. I think that's going to end it for our season here, Pat.
I'm tearing up here a little bit, guys. You know,
I want to thank everybody who's watched with us so far, and again, apologies. Ran into some technical difficulties here, some stuff that was out of our control with Amalie Arena, but it was fun to be in the big stage here and get some sort of broadcast out to you guys. Your final score for Florida Gulf Coast. USF loses with 3. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up, guys. It's been fun.
It's been a great season. We appreciate all of our viewers and in case today, listeners. Yeah. And we hope that when we come back, we bring the season next year.
We want to thank USF Hockey for giving us all this opportunity too, this platform this season. I mean, this was great. It was a great venture for us, and hopefully they'll have us back next year. This was a ton of fun.
The Tampa Bay Lightning for having us here in this suite to be able to broadcast the game and to bring it to you guys back in your homes.
Absolutely. Well, Bulls fans, it's not over just yet for the Ice Bulls, as they will go into either the regionals or the nationals. They'll find out once the ACHA finalizes their standings, but it's either going to be regionals or nationals for USF. So keep following them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook.
And stay optimistic, because after a great win in overtime against UTampa loses against certainly a weaker opponent in Miami, and USF gets down to the last 2 minutes here against FGCU before finally falling on what should have been a disallowed goal.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it's been fun. For Pat Templeton, Walker Ford, Garrett Speed running the camera as he did all year. I'm Wade Crocker. It's been a fun year. Hopefully we'll be back next year. Keep following this team. Keep following Ice Bulls hockey. It's been a pleasure.
Go Bulls!
Go Bulls. Good night, everybody.